his turn while
if all you're faffing about with is a picture.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Right, I think we're there. Oh, I need to maximise that. Wowzers. That took some doing. Do we have the right names, though?
What do you mean?
Oh, yeah, so they're actually the wrong way around on my...
They're not for me, because I put them in the right place.
Okay, fortunately, that is very easy for me to fix.
Okay, so, yeah. Good.
Wowzers. There we go.
Okay, we're ready to start. Jonathan said he's been clued on 2 of his cards.
Right. So, we need to explain to these guys, we've been trying out a new convention, Steve, haven't we?
Let's not do it tonight.
Oh.
Let's not do it tonight.
All right, so...
Even though it would work.
Yes. So I've been clued on once, and clue means play, so I don't really need to think about this, and we always play cards from the newest to the oldest, which is leftmost through to rightmost, so I just play that one, and trust that everyone else knows what they're doing.
Okay, well, I'm going to just continue playing.
So our general, we play what's called the Dynamo System, which is a system we've made up, and it has...
We've chosen the name, have we?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
And the fundamentals, like there's more to it than that, but the fundamentals are clue means play, and you keep playing until you're clued again, or until what you think you have in your hand doesn't make sense to play. You always discard from the right, and you play from the left. So if you've got a clued on 2 cards, you will always play the leftmost card, or 3 cards, something. And if you want to save a card, the only way to save it is to clue the number when it's in the discard position. So at this moment in time, the discard position in Dave's hand was the card he was just clued on. So if you want to save that particular card, you clue number.
Right, let me just think. So Dave played, and Matt gave a clue
to Dave.
Okay, that's fine. So I haven't been clued, so I just carry on playing.
Yeah.
Easy.
I clue, and you have to clue, part of Hanabi rules, you have to clue all of one particular thing. So in this case, not saying whether it is or it isn't, but if only one of those 2s was playable, I still have to clue Jonathan and all. For example, Dave. And one of our base rules as well, is that clue means play, and to stop them playing, you have to clue them again. So in this particular case, Dave got clued on the 5. There's no way that 5 can be playable, but it tells him not to carry on playing. So otherwise, he would have carried on trying to play the 1. I actually think there was a good chance that Dave already knew that 1 wasn't playable, because on the first round of cards, I clued Matt's single 1 rather than Dave's 2 1s. So I think Dave already had an idea that wasn't playable.
Yeah, I think that you've been putting me on 2-1.
It was worth putting the 5 clue out there.
I think it's fine, because otherwise, I think that's fine.
Yeah, there wasn't any other useful clues to give.
Also, it tells you it tells you that my discard's safe, and you can't see anything playable in my hand.
Yeah.
The card furthest to the right is always the one that we will discard if we need to or want to discard, and that's referred to as the chop. Generally, the chop is the next card you're going to discard, which is, as we say, normally the one on the right.
Yeah.
So it's very important to clue 5s on the chop, because you don't want to lose them.
Yeah.
So
the chop for Matt now isn't this 5? It's this card here. That tells that says something as well. It means that Matt doesn't have a good clue to give, so he might not be able to see anything that's playable at all. I will. Actually, Dave's got a discard, hasn't he? I'll just discard. And when you discard, you get a clue back.
So now we're hoping to find the other ones.
Why did you play that?
Yeah, I think we were hoping for Dave to discard.
You got clue 5.
Yeah. Steve even explained to the viewers that that meant to stop playing.
Yeah, and you think you even said to chat that you think, yeah, I was pretty sure that that was a duplicate.
Oh no, I played it. No, I meant to discard. Oh.
This is called, if we have more of these, this is called the cake game.
That's right.
The first game in a series of games, we'll be playing several games tonight. The first game is called the cake game because it's the one where people haven't locked their minds in fully yet. So Dave knew he should discard that.
Just misclicked. I thought I wasn't sure what you guys were on about, and I was like, yeah, just discard this. Okay, yeah, that was definitely a cake game moment.
Who wants to explain how this works?
So this is likely a finesse. So, because from my point of view, actually, is it my point of view, or should we ask the person who thinks they're finessed?
Well,
I
see. Yeah. No, it's worth talking through this.
So I've been clued 3. Now, it could be the blue 3, but it's more important to play the lower cards first. And if I can see that there is a playable card in someone else's most recent spot, and it is the card before the one I'm clued on, it might be a finesse. So in this particular case, I've been told on my 3, it's likely to be the multicolored 3. And the reason for that is that someone might have the multicolored 2 in their most recent drawn spot. So what's going to happen is Jonathan's probably going to play. I'm not going to play, and that will tell someone that I think it's a finesse. So in this particular case, I should play the 3 because clue means play, but I'm not going to because I think it's a finesse, and that doubly confirms to the person who can't see the multicolored 2 that they're likely to have it in their most recent spot. So I'm going to not play it. I'm just going to say, I'm just going to do that.
So I just played my most recent card because. Yeah.
So from Dave's point of view, he could see that I've been clued on the multicolored 3. It wasn't a card that we needed to save, and it wasn't a card that's playable. And the only reason we would do that is because he has the card that makes it playable, and it will only ever be in his most recent spot. If it isn't his most recent spot, you just can't do that technique. So you've always got to be aware when someone draws in their most recent spot a playable card, if you can include the card that's one higher than that, you can get 2 cards played with 1 clue. Okay, and likelihood is I'm going to play this one. And then I'm going to play the other one, which is either oh, hang on, yes. Yeah. That is another finesse. That tells me I've got the blue 4. There's no way Dave would play that, but he's played it because I've been clued on a card that can't be played unless the card preceding it is played, and Dave worked out that he had the blue 3.
The advantage of finessing is that you get 2 cards played for only 1 clue, and that's very important in Hanabi because if you just give 1 clue for each card that you play, you will not manage to get all the cards played. So you really need to get more than 1 card played a few times in the game if possible, and then you'll stand a chance of winning. So I have no clues. This is very straightforward. In this situation, you just have to discard. I don't have any playable cards, and you always discard the one from the right. Now, if that card turned out to be an important card, like a 5, then one thing I really like about Hanabi is that that would not be my fault, because I can't see my cards. If I discard a 5, it's almost certainly everybody else's fault, because they should warn you and they should clue. Like Matt has been clued on his 5 at the bottom there. It's everyone else's responsibility to stop you from making mistakes in that kind of situation.
Yeah. So in this particular case, Dave's been clued on a card that isn't playable, so I'm going to assume that it's a finesse. And I'm going to play the card in my most recent spot because it should be that one. And that's called a standard finesse. And the standard finesse is where the cards are played in order. So in this particular case, Dave was clued green. And so I played the 2, then he plays the 3, and we do it in order. The 2 finesses previously were called reverse finesses, in that I'm clued, I have to not play my card, let Dave play his, and then come back to me. It's basically where the cards are the other way around. So a standard finesse is you get the cards played quicker. A reverse finesse means that the person who's been clued has to wait, spend their turn doing something else until the finesse card's been played.
Now that ought to mean play, but I always just like to do a last little check. I can see what Steve is going to do, and I can't see any obvious finesse, so that should just mean play, and I play the one furthest to the left.
I have no
This is
clues to
called
give, so
This is called a mat
we
move.
should have a safe discard. That is a good one.
If Dave didn't have a safe discard, I would not have played. I knew I had the blue 4, but I would have not have played. I would have to get him a clue, which tells Dave that his discard is not safe. I'm sorry, there's a cat entering my room. I'm just gonna...
Okay.
I'm fine with cats, but if it just hides behind my desk where the wires are and everything, if it gets in. So watch it.
So I'm just gonna discard that.
Now, this is unusual in most conventions. If you play on Board Game Arena, most people you play with will not do this, but in the Dynamo convention system, which is the one that we use, I will keep playing all my 4s until I'm told to stop playing in some way, or if it's obvious that I can't play. Now, there are more 4s playable. There's no reason for me to think I shouldn't, so I should carry on. And again, if that 4 had not been playable, that would be everybody else's fault.
Okay, so I have an obvious clue to give here, but I'm not going to give it because I think it's better that Jonathan gives it.
Okay. So if you're watching my stream, I don't know what that means. It looks like it's a clue from my hand. To be honest.
Yeah, so not sure what these are, but clue means play, so there we go.
Yeah, and you can kind of mess around and do some funny things sometimes. But
So yeah, because I've been clued blue, that might be the multicolored 4. And if it's not, someone needs to tell me that it isn't.
So I'm clued on this card. It's white. If I can see the white one, it's a finesse. I can't see the white one, so I'm going to play.
it's also a little bit odd that I clued colour there instead of number. Like, why didn't I just clue 1s? Normally that would be what you would do.
My most recent card is likely to be a 1.
So yeah, it means that Steve's got another 1 in his hand, and we don't want to have to clue him to play his 1s and then tell him to stop, or like be unable to clue the 1s because, as he says, there's one earlier on. So he knows he's got another 1 in his hand somewhere. It doesn't really matter because he also knows it's not playable.
So now I'm going to clue Jonathan, and I'm going to clue him in his on his rightmost card, and I'm going to clue him a non-playable card, which does not mean it's a finesse because it's in the discard slot.
Yeah, so a number clue in the chop means save. And it can look at the ones thrown away and try to work out what that is. Which 3 would we need to save? And sometimes you can't work it out, but the green, the yellow, the blue, and the multicolored have all been played, and there are still 2 red 3s. So Jonathan should be able to work out what colour that 3 is.
Yeah. So I kind of look through my discards here, And I think it's got to be a white one. So that I'll just save that information for later. That will be useful.
And I'm going to keep playing this because I wasn't told not to. And it works.
All right, we're low on clues. We've only got one clue, so need to be a little bit careful here. So I'm just checking through each of the hands, seeing what's playable. It's always worth checking every player's chop card, because dangerous discards you've got to be very careful about.
Also, the later you leave a clue, the more chance there is for a finesse. So sometimes it's nice to, sometimes it's just better to let the next person do it.
Yeah, so there's nothing that I need to clue, so I'm going to discard. Obviously not the dodgy 3 on the end, but just my chop card, which is the next one.
So I'm going to clue white.
Okay. So I will just discard.
Now, from this point of view, if Dave had a bad discard or a card we needed to play, I would have let him clue that clue, because I know Dave and myself can see the same information. When we clued white on Jonathan, Matt's worked it out. It was a finesse on the whites 2. But I could have let Dave give that clue. So the fact is that Dave was throwing the LFO away and we didn't need to keep that, meant that I think I'll give the clue. But if Dave had, for example, the red 3 or something else that was worth saving, then I would have discarded and let Dave give the clue.
So I've been clued, which obviously has made Matt play. We are playing the multicolour variant though, and you need to be really careful, because if you clue colour, it will also indicate multicolour cards. So you can never really trust colour. But because I was clued and I have got this 3 on the end, and I previously worked out as the white 3, I know I can definitely play that one. The other supposedly white card here, it might be white, it might be a multicolour card, it might be another card I can play, I don't know, but I would expect to play it unless I'm clued otherwise.
Okay. Okay, cool. Normally, I would finesse here, but I think
Is it on my chart?
yeah, I think I should just clue this and get the ones played, because you want to get the ones played as soon as possible.
Okay.
Which means Jonathan has to clue now. Oh, after the ones played.
I would have finessed.
You can't finesse if it's in my chop, I think.
I think you can, because there's only one that was required. So if he'd given you that clue, and I'd played it, you'd have to have gone, okay. And
yeah, I understand that, but you might not play it.
If
you might not play it.
Okay,
if
so I might not
play
play. Yeah.
If I have the red 2, I mean, if you play it, clearly it is a finesse. But when if you don't play it,
but he could have clued color.
If I clue Steve,
if you clued Steve color,
yeah, then it might be because,
from my point of view, I was expecting to play, but Dave has kind of forced me to clue here.
Yeah.
So I'm interpreting that to mean that I shouldn't carry on playing my white card. Maybe it's playable, maybe it's not. I'm not entirely sure. But either way, I don't think I should be playing it now. It's more important to give Steve that clue.
Yeah, I think if Dave had given Steve that clue, I would have, as the colour clue, I would have seen it as a finesse.
Yeah, I mean, colour doesn't mean save. It must be finesse.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So in that situation, you could be given a colour clue without it being confusing. Obviously, if you had other reds or some multicolours in your hand, it would have been.
And the reason I didn't tell Matt about his red one is that I can't see the red 2.
Yeah.
So if I discard and there is a finesse, it will be in my hand.
Let someone else do it.
Yeah, but it will be in my hand, so I could let Dave do
that. Okay, so see that. Yep.
So Matt's played that because he can likely see all the other 5s. He didn't know what colour that was, but he's worked out that. Yes, in fact, I know he can see all the other 5s.
Now, Steve's been clued on his 5, which means play, because it's not in the chop, so that means play. And I'm thinking, hang on a second, that card can't be played. So again, that's a finesse. And although it would normally be your most recent card, in this case, I have a white card. I was thinking maybe I should be playing it, maybe not, I don't know. But now I definitely want to play that one. It must be the white 4.
Okay.
Right. Well, I have an idea that I've got a bunch of 5s in my hand, given that Matt need to play his. So I probably should look for a clue here, and luckily I have a nice little clue of just this.
And the fact that Dave clued that, but didn't clue like a red card or a 4 in someone else's hand means there's no finesse. So the red 4 is unlikely to be visible from Dave's point of view. If it's anywhere, it should be in Dave's hand, because it shouldn't be in my hand, and it shouldn't be in Jonathan's hand either.
Well, it's either in my hand or in the deck.
Yeah. Well, last time you didn't finesse, so we never know. It is the cake game.
All right, so I can't see any other clues that are particularly worth giving, so I'm just going to give this clue.
Okay. I have to discard. I've got nothing else to do.
Okay, so these are probably the 2 5s that are the multicolored 5 and the green 5, unless include otherwise.
Yeah.
So we're in a red 4 waiting room.
Nearly misclicked there.
At this stage in the game, it's very important to keep an eye on the number of cards left. We've got 5 cards left in the deck. Once that deck runs out, we get one more turn and the game ends. So yeah, we are waiting for the cards. And I think I will leave Steve to deal with that situation.
Yeah. No, you won't.
So Steve didn't tell Dave.
Well, Dave threw the multicolour card away, so that should tell you.
Yes, that he shouldn't play it, but Dave didn't play it anyway. Somehow, magically, he knew to throw it away. So that means I must have drawn the multicolour 5.
No, I think ethically, Matt needs to clue you here.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah.
Really?
Yes, because it could be anywhere in Jonathan's hand.
Yes, I don't know where it is.
The only reason he knows it's drawable is because Dave said previously he was going to play it, and he shouldn't say that. So I think ethically you need to clue that.
Yeah, fair enough.
This is the thing, we talk as we play, and we try not to. Hi, Adam. Adam's watching us on Twitch. Say hi, Adam, everyone.
Yeah.
Hi, Adam.
Hello, Adam. Yeah, normally we don't talk this much about what the clues we're giving means when we're just playing.
Okay, me to go. We can't. Oh, sorry, I should have clued. It doesn't matter, does it? Doesn't matter. We were never going to get these out.
If the last card is the 4, that's right. Then whoever draws that last card will get to play that card, but no other card, so we won't be able to play the red 5.
Yeah.
1 point short.
I think it was pretty. There's 2 errors actually. Dave missed a finesse, and Dave played a card when he shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And Dave was 15 minutes late.
All right, so 29 out of 30. It's pretty good.
So based on our ranking on the site considers 27 as what we should be getting. Lower than 27, our ranking goes down, and higher than 27, our ranking goes up. So 27 is the baseline. However, from our point of view, I think 29 is probably our baseline.
If we don't make any mistakes, which happens, I don't know, what, 50% of the time maybe? But if we don't make any mistakes, I think we get 30, like get all the cards out, 80 to 90% of the time with this system.
Apart from in the situation where we just had.
Yeah, so that's the only thing that's really going to shoot us in the foot. Right. If the card we really are waiting for is on the bottom of the deck.
Okay, are you going to...
So I'll do it again. The only slight issue with this, I think, is it moves the players around. Just waiting for Matt.
And it shows the relative skill of each of us. I don't think it does changes, you know. Sorry, to...
Okay, so
I don't think it does changes, you know. It says it does, but I don't think it does. It hasn't changed.
It hasn't changed us. Excellent. I don't need to move the pictures around.
Hey.
And I'm first. So obviously we want to get ones played. I'm looking around for ones. I want the most efficient clue I can get. I want to clue as many ones as possible. And we will start by doing that, I think. The important thing here is that Steve can see both Dave's hand and my hand. So he knows that the one in my hand is a different colour, hopefully, from the ones in Dave's hand. So I can play this with confidence.
Okay.
We also have a convention, just to let you know, that before discarding, somebody should give a clue to say there are no more clues that they can helpfully give in terms of play clues. So you might look at...
It's not always the case, but you should never discard on your first turn.
Yeah. So obviously, one of the first things you look at is everybody's chop and see are there any fives on the chop, for example. They don't need to be clued immediately. As I say, you shouldn't be discarding on your first turn, but at some point someone will probably clue something to say, I can't see anything that can be played, like cluing a 5. And then it's very important to clue 5s on the chop to stop people discarding them. So my turn's easy, I play.
So I've just been clued 1 again, which suggests that one of these could be played, and I think I should play the one on the right in this instance. So.
Personally, I think I would have handled that situation slightly differently.
Yeah, I would think cluing 1 again means they're not playable. But
yeah, I think you should have stopped playing the one on the end and played the new one, but fortunately, it's fine. Like in Matt's situation, I think I would have preferred to let Dave play the one and clue him on the next go round.
I would have preferred to do that, but
do you want to give a Matt clue here, Matt?
Yeah, I do. I really do.
Do it.
I mean, there's 2 potential Matt clues I could give. Yeah.
By a Matt clue, we mean a clue that generally involves trying to play a ridiculous number of cards with 1 clue. So normally a finesse gets 2 cards played with 1 clue, but Matt tries to get lots more played if possible, and we have to kind of look around to figure out what in the world is going on. So this is not a save clue, even though it's a number on the chop, because there are no cards that need saving. It has to be a play clue. From my point of view, 3s are not playable though, so I know I can't clue. I know I can't play that 3. But I also know that Matt is trying to get cards played, so there must be a sequence of cards that can be played that will lead to me playing that 3. Now I can see what it is. If you look around at the cards, you can probably figure that out. But because I can't play, I need to do something else. And yeah, there's a slightly dangerous situation. I need to be careful here because in our system, if you clue someone who's playing cards, it means stop playing. So I think actually I'm going to discard.
The fact that Jonathan discarded should mean that mine is safe. However, what I'm going to do is do that.
Given I've been given this seems very much like a mat clue, so I'm just going to play my new card, which I suspect is a blue one.
Do you think maybe the one you have is the blue one?
Oh, why would he clue the 2 ones? Like,
yeah, well, that's bonkers, but
yeah,
I couldn't discard because it was my first turn.
Yeah, you just need to clue me or Jonathan. Jonathan knew his one was playable.
There was no clues to give you.
Sorry? Then clue Jonathan. Jonathan knew the 1-1 he had was playable because I wouldn't clash a 1.
I thought I either had 2 white ones or I had like a green one and a white one.
Yeah. Oh well. And there's a mat clue for you all.
The obvious risk with mat clues is that it's easy to misinterpret them if you're not careful and get it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that we've misfired and got the bomb, if you like, as sometimes it's called, is not such a bad thing. The fact that we've lost a blue 2 is much more detrimental to the rest of the game, because there's only one other blue 2 in the deck, and if it's near the bottom, it's going to be very hard for us to get the rest of the blue cards out.
Last game we threw the red 2 away really early. It was my first discard. So actually we still almost succeeded last game. So it's still doable if we draw the blue 2 early enough.
Oh.
If you are watching along on Twitch and you've got any questions about what we're doing, let us know. You're seeing the hands on Twitch and YouTube at a later date from my point of view. If you're watching YouTube live, you're seeing the hands from Jonathan's point of view. We're streaming from 2 different perspectives here. So in theory, if you want to watch the whole game, there's no way to do this on Board Game Arena. You can watch at the same time the live YouTube video and the Twitch video, and then you'd see mine and Jonathan's hand, as well as Matt's and Dave's.
All right, so from my point of view, I do not understand that clue because I was already finessed, so I know that I can play that too. I don't know quite what Matt's thinking, but he has clued the other 2 at the same time, so I will be playing that other 2 when it comes back to me.
Well, I just play my from the fact that the 2 didn't work, I have to assume that the 1 will work.
So. Okay.
Matt's overcomplicating things, I think.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to
So I'm just going to mute you guys 1 second. I'm not muting you guys. You can't hear me, so I'm just going to talk about the situation that we've got ourselves in, so I can see exactly what's happening.
Stuff's going on.
And I'll give that clue.
Yeah, so I think I know what that is, based on what I can see in other people's hands. Either way, I know I can't play that card, so I won't be playing it. I also know I can't play the blue 3 on the end, so I'm going to be discarding. my
That's
chop
also
card, which unfortunately is a 5. What a mess. And this is going wrong because Matt is eating cake. This is Matt's cake game. Whenever we eat cake, it goes
Invisible
wrong.
cake.
It can be quite difficult when there are cards that need saving. But yeah, we definitely had some dodgy clues here, I think.
I mean, I blame Dave.
I think your second, both clues were deep, Matt. I don't think they were incorrect. They were both pretty deep.
Yep.
And I think Jonathan could have worked it out. I don't think he needed to clue him.
Yeah, but I still would have discarded that chop, wouldn't I?
Matt just says 5.
Oh, if you'd clued it, I would have been fine. Yeah,
he just clued 5. Yeah,
actually, yeah.
I think you should work it out, because why would Matt clue you a 2? You've already been finessed on when Dave's got a 1 in the most recent spot.
Yeah. No, I can see why.
Yeah, I should have clued the 5. Definitely.
But either Dave has been listening to our conversation or has figured it out in a justifiable way.
I got it from Steve gave the red.
Oh, did Steve give the clue? All right, so you clued him and he played him. That's fine.
I gave the clue red.
Yeah.
This is more information than you should be have access to whilst playing this game, I'm afraid.
So I'm definitely playing that.
I will have to do. Actually, if I do, discard.
Okay.
So by discarding, I force Dave to finesse. Now I could have done the finesse, which meant Dave would discard, or I could have given a clue to Dave to say save, but we were short of clues. So by doing it this way, I not only tell Dave not to throw those away, but then he is forced to clue, and I don't waste a clue doing so. Me to go.
So that was obviously finessing my most recent card, because Matt was given the clue white.
Oh, that's annoying. Throwing the green 2, the red 2 away.
Yeah.
So the red and the blue 2 are going to be our issues, as well as the fact that we've lost the yellow 5. What we'll do after this is we will have a game where we reduce what we say. I think that maybe the last game of the night will be a game where we don't talk until after it's gone wrong. I think because the reason we're getting to the point where we can get 30, I don't know, maybe just over 50% of the time, maybe.
Well, I say when we don't make mistakes, we're getting it like 80-90% of the time.
Yeah.
But those mistakes,
including mistakes, I think our 30 win rate is about 50, just over 50%, maybe. That's just getting mistakes and 29s. That's including mistakes and 29s and 28s as well.
All right, I should discard it because it should be the closest person who gives a clue in case there's a finesse opportunity. So if I had the card that follows that, Steve would have finessed me.
Yeah, I threw it away, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it was unlikely, but it may have been there. So
yeah, you're absolutely right. Ooh.
We don't normally say that either. Oh. So he's cleared green. That means I must have the missing card.
Yeah, that's why it was ooh.
Oh. Nice.
Okay. If you remember, I knew what my
Yeah, you know what that 3 is from context.
The matte finesse.
Well, we'll try this and see what happens. Okay, I'm going to discard this blue 3.
Okay.
Which might sound crazy because it's the only card I knew anything about in my hand.
How deep do we want to go with this? I don't know. I think I'm going to have to just...
No, I was going to play.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
The idea there is that if I've discarded a card that we know and we need, it means I've just seen it appear in someone else's hand.
So it's in my most recent spot.
And again, you would normally only do that if you're wanting to get a card played. So the fact that I was doing that meant I could also see the blue 2.
Yeah.
But Steve's clue does also let Dave know the colour of his 5.
Yeah,
both of them.
Yeah, it means that I was going to play my 5 had that 2 clue not been given, but
it wasn't 2 clues, blue clue.
The blue clue.
It tells, so basically, because Dave's been clued 2 different colours, those 5s have to be those specific colours, because if they were multicoloured, they would have been flagged as multicoloured. So I will play that. We've got no clues left. Just checking that there's no stupid discards. There are not.
And there was a finesse. Well, I got cleared the 4, so I should just play the 4. We're a bit low on. No.
Yeah, you could get a clue back.
I could get a clue back by.
Yeah, choosing not to. That's fine.
We'll get the clue back next time.
Okay. I'll just be discarding the one on the end.
So I'm just going to mute myself again.
What's this secret information that he keeps giving?
It's just explanation. In terms of, basically, because you're
yeah,
what
it's
you
all
can
right.
do. It's my turn. In theory, I'm like, well, Dave's going to do this. That means Matt will have to do that. That means Jonathan, and you can work out ahead. So I'm just going to talk.
That's fine. That's fine. From my point of view, I haven't got a clue.
Okay, well, I know what. I think I know what the next one. Ooh. Okay. We'll give that close, Steve.
It's 5s. I'm just going to continue playing. Unless I can see anything important to do, which I can't.
So I think from our point of view, that clue of 5 to Matt, that was his chop card.
That's on the chop, so it's a save clue.
And it was a number clue, and number clue on the chop means save.
Yeah. Yeah, there's only one playable 5 at the moment, so.
And if it was the multicolour 5, you can always clue colour. You can always clue colour to get it played.
Yes, yeah, whatever
because
colour you
there are
want.
5 colours and only 4 cards in your hand, so there will be a colour you don't have that you can clue.
Yeah.
The reason I was talking is that basically if I gave that clue, Dave would not be able to play his 5 because he would have to save Matt's.
Yeah.
If I save Matt's 5, Dave gets the clue back that allows Matt to clue Jonathan. Me to go. I will just discard. So just give an example of he will do this, and he will do that, and then he will do that. Yeah.
I should just play my 5. Get it out of the way.
So most of the suits are coming along well. We're still waiting on this red 2, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
And we've got to be careful. There's only 1 red 2, 1 red 4, and 1 yellow 4, and 1 white 4 left. So there's a lot of the cards we need. There's limited supply. But the fact is they're discarding means this can't be one of those cards. So I think we're now at the behest of the deck as to how well we're going to do.
You see, if we hadn't made those mistakes earlier, a lot of these cards that we'd thrown away would have been played.
The blue 2, no, it was the red 2. We couldn't save the red 2. The red 2 was the one thing that wasn't a mistake. It was my natural discard.
Often it snowballs, doesn't it? When you start to make mistakes.
I don't think the red 2 was a discard. It was my first discard, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't a mistake.
It was the blue 2 was a mistake, and then the yellow 5 was a mistake from the 2 mat clues. Ooh. Did we just lose the other red 4?
So that was the other red 4.
Oh yeah.
How's the cake, Matt?
Good. It's good.
It better be.
I'll play this.
So again, I had no way of knowing that was the red 4 in the end. We did need to save that card.
That's Matt's fault. I think there's a combination of Matt and Dave here. Dave missed all Matt's clues are targeted at Dave, and maybe it's not Dave's fault completely, but Matt has instigated most of the mistakes in this game.
I don't think it's my fault at all.
I think the second, I don't know, Matt's cluing you double 1s put you off. That's the first thing I'll give you off. But the second one, I think you should work out.
No.
I think you should. I've already finessed that 2. I've already finessed that 2. So Matt's clue of 2 must be on the second one, which must be a finesse. I think that's correct. And because of the mistake from earlier, you knew the one you knew about was blue. So the other card you have was the multicolored one. I think that was doable.
Yeah.
I'll let you off the first one, but I think that was doable.
Okay, yeah, that one. I thought you were talking about the order of the 2 and the 3.
It was tough, that, I think.
The 1 and the 2.
Okay.
It was hard. It was definitely hard. It was a Matt clue. We call clues that require maybe the placement of 3 cards, Matt clues.
I think it's guessing sometimes.
It's all logically workable, outable.
Okay, so I've been finessed. And now I'm afraid we're probably not going to get them all out because the sad state of affairs is that too many 5s are in the same hand.
Yeah, I mean, we can get all of the ones that are still in the deck out.
You need the yellow. You need the white 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not going to be doable.
One we need.
If it's the last card, it can't be done. So assuming you can already see it.
Can it not be done?
No, if the last card's
if it's the last card,
yeah, you can't
If it's this card, it can't be done either. Well, we can't get to 5 unless we'd have to clue a bunch.
No, Matt, you had to. It doesn't matter because if Matt clues there, he doesn't get to play both his 5s anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just say that's a 4. Yeah, so we missed these 2 5s as well. Oh, well, 1 5. It's only the white one we could have got. So this losing the white 5 at the end means we would have scored 29 without mistakes. Losing the yellow 5 and the red 4 were both Matt's fault. The red 4 was definitely 100% your fault, and the yellow 5, I don't know whose fault it was if it wasn't yours.
Yeah, some of them were my fault.
The fact that we lost it was a combination of Dave missing your clue, but you still had the opportunity to save it. So the fact we lost it is down to you.
And this is called a map move, where there is only one thing you can do, and it still takes 5 minutes.
You can only clue.
Oh, I've got a clue. Okay.
You have 8 clues if you want.
Hang on, I've got 2 white fours. Which one do I play?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was pretty bad. 26, and look. Oh, the rating didn't go down. Normally it goes down.
We're playing with weaker players, Jonathan.
Matt at least keeps the rating up then.
Yeah.
All right, so we're saying this is the final game.
Is it? Is it? It's only 20 past 11.
I think in terms of the length of the stream here, I'm going to.
I'm happy for 2 more.
You can keep streaming if you want. I will end the stream on Board Game Finish channel after this game.
So we're doing this one where we're not talking then.
And we can try not to talk. Yes. Elsewhere, I got an invitation to a game. Oh, I think my screen is doing something funny. Let me just refresh my screen.
We've lost someone. We've lost Matt.
Oh.
Yeah, Matt is no longer.
For a Board Game Arena.
No, Matt. Who've we lost? Jonathan.
Yeah, can you? There we go. I don't know why, but for some reason it didn't.
You need to join.
Yeah, I'm clicking the button, but no joy. Let me refresh my screen again.
Okay, you in? Start.
There we go.
Wait for Matt.
Okay.
There
we go. There we go.
That might mean we are in a different order. No, we're not. We're in the same order. So we.
Excellent.
Right. So this one we are not going to talk. We're not going to say, "Well, that's a Matt clue," or "That's a finesse," or anything. You're going to pick up the tips we've got. If we go wrong, we will talk about it after it, where we're not giving any information away about the rest of the hand. So it's Matt to go first. Good luck, everyone.
Hope you finished that cake now, Matt.
Yeah, I'm on the crisps now. All right.
Okay.
Surely they both needed a clue there, Jonathan. So you have to give one and I have to give the other. Now I can't.
I think there's only one clue that can be given there.
Yeah, but they each need a clue. So why weren't you giving one of them a clue and me giving the other a clue?
Because I think only one of them needs a clue.
All right. Okay.
I can't say I'm entirely happy with the situation for other reasons, but
yeah.
I hate it when that happens. You think, oh, it's going to be this card, and you play it, and it's not.
They shall do.
Nice.
that was likely to happen, Dave. You should have done that. Or something similar.
I assume Dave was discarding in the hope that he'd pick up the finessable card.
Yeah, possibly. But what if you have it?
I didn't want you to stop.
I mean, if I had the finesse, was there no clues when Dave played?
No, I had a clue. It's just I didn't want you to stop playing, so I thought.
Well,
you did.
Yeah, you did.
I mean,
if I clue you there,
like I haven't necessarily stopped playing.
Why are we using two clues to get just the red 4 played? It's bonkers. Like it has to be the 4 and 5.
Yeah, I know that. I know.
Yeah, so you're not going to stop playing the 5.
Yeah.
I don't think it's bonkers to use 2 clues for 1 card. So Matt knew they were both playable.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, shouldn't be talking about strategy. It's after the fact, there, I suppose. It's too late now.
In general, on your turn, your order of priority should be play, clue, discard. So if you can play, you should play before doing anything else. If you can't, then you should give a clue. And if you can't give a clue, then you should discard. But there are often situations where you have to break that convention, but in general, that is the rule you should be following.
I mean,
if you're trying to stop
red and 5 on this, so I assume I've got the green 3 in my. Actually, I don't know what position it's in, but if you clued me green, I would then know that this red 5 is definitely red. So I wouldn't go, I won't play that red 5 then, that I know is definitely red.
So I'm just going to mute and give some feedback again.
Tell me where my green 3 is.
So I misfired.
No, it's fine. It's fine. That's what I was telling the camera. And yeah, I think I know something. So I'm going to discard this. Good clue, Dave.
Dave gave clue 5 on that.
Yeah. And I discarded my leftmost card. Oh. All right.
So if you're wondering what's going on here, I think we're all confused by Dave's clue of 5 in Steve's hand.
Dave, my gist, now that I've explained to the crowd and I'm completely wrong, my gist was we had one clue. He could have told Matt about his green 3, but he didn't. he told me about my 5, and he would only do that if my 2 cards are both non-discardable. So when he clues my 5 and Jonathan tries to play, I'm thinking that my card in between the 5 and the 3 is the green 4 that he can't save.
No, I didn't want to discard my most recently drawn card.
Okay.
Because if they're both playable, or if they're both cards that are important, you potentially can't clue me about both of them. So I should give a clue.
I think if you're not cluing that on the chop, it means play, though. We all interpreted that as a play clue. Well, I did at least, because I could see Steve's chop was fine.
Rather than cluing my 5, you should have clued Matt's green 3.
Yeah.
Like if you're not going to discard, you should be cluing the green 3.
I was expecting to do that next time. I was expecting to do it this time, but he didn't play his 5, so then I couldn't. Or it's just...
I think he knew the 5 was always playable.
Yeah.
Once we used 2 clues on red 4 and 5, so I don't think you were going to stop him by cluing the 3. I understand clue means stop, apart from when he's definitely sure he knows what the card is.
Yeah.
It's fine. So I misfired. I thought I had the green 4 in my thing because I thought Jonathan was trying to play the green 3 or something. I don't know exactly what was going on.
But we haven't locked anything out yet, so that's good.
But no more mistakes or we die.
It is.
Yeah.
Dive to go. Welcome to the world of Hanabi, where we blow up.
Okay.
It's going to mute again.
Wait, what did I do? He gave clue 3. Okay, so I'm either going to lose as the game.
That sounds about right.
Which will be Dave's fault. Or it's good, and that'll be Dave's fault.
No, you had to underchop.
Yeah, I was thinking. I
don't think you should have clued 3. I should have clued colour there.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I go colour, then I'm cluing 3 of the cards, and then...
No, you don't clue blue, you clue white. You clue a different colour.
Yeah.
So what was the issue there? Why couldn't...
Well, Dave clued 3s, so Matt thought he had the blue 2 as well.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That was
so
because your second 3 was the blue one, which wasn't playable unless I had the blue 2.
So Matt had to underchop, but Dave, he thinks potentially that Dave should have clued
colour.
Colour just to do a single card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably should have.
Yeah.
I think's correct now thinking about it. I was talking to the crowd about what an underchop was because we haven't come up against one.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, my choice was either underchop or think that was a finesse.
I was expecting the double underchop. But...
Yeah.
Double underchop.
And on that bombshell, I think Steve is going to carry on streaming, but I'm going to end the Board Game Opinions stream here. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you've learned something about our conventions. We do normally play a little bit better than this. We've had a couple of duff games tonight, but we will try and do this a bit more regularly, so maybe once a week, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
All right.
If you're with us on YouTube or Twitch, we are going to play at least one more game, so hang around. It's getting towards midnight, but it's not John.